Inside this garage is a very special car with a crazy modification we've never seen before. Hold on, Mike and RJ are struggling with the garage door. It's been sitting since 2000 and it has one of the coolest license plates we've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, we give you the NOS Pony, a Mustang GT with a Ferrari F40 Wing.
Oh, dude, look at that.
That wing is seriously insane.
Doesn't this look like the car from Cars when they're riding on the highway with the big super wing? I can't remember what those guys are called.
His name is Wingo, dude.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
this might be the nickname of this car. Look at this thing.
NOS Pony.
That's a sweet license plate.
Dude.
Oh, it's a GT too.
How much more 80s could you get?
Look at the decals on the side.
That's what I'm saying.
That's so rad.
Dude, I think that's paint.
This thing must have been sitting for such a long time.
Brett, you have to look at this antenna. This is the silliest.
Hang on, let me put some more light on it.
This is the silliest looking antenna. Sorry about the light in here, but look at that. I wonder if he hand bent that.
That's sweet. But look at this wing. There's no way this is OEM.
No. There's no possible way. I've never seen a Mustang.
But it's completely fabricated into the whole entire hatch.
Yeah, it fits really well.
Look at this, Mike. It looks perfect.
So cool.
Should I look? Brett, Mike, should we look?
Yeah, let's take a peek. That was a nice solid click.
Oh, there's a whole cage in here.
What?
Dang.
It's real. It's a nice cage.
This thing stinks.
Yeah, it does stink. It stinks like, what's it, mildew?
Well, this thing is a wild Mustang. We need to go grab the owner and get some more information about this car, especially this flipping wing. Yeah. That thing is gnarly. All right, guys, we're here with the owner, Mike. And Mike, I have two questions right off the bat. One, what does NOS Pony mean? Why did you pick that plate for this? And two, where the heck did you get this wing?
The wing came from MRE out of California. And then I had it shipped here, and then Pittsburgh Custom Coach put it on, fiberglassed everything in. My friend down at Precision Auto painted it, everything for me. NOS Pony, when I first bought the car, the only mod I put on it was nitrous. So, you know.
And that 5.0 took it, no problem?
I started with a 100 shot on a stock motor. It was an automatic, mufflers and gears, that's all it had on it. I went up to a 225 shot eventually, just kept going a little bit more, That's when the motor gave loose at the 225 shot, blew the head gaskets. So then I put a built motor in, swapped it to a 5-speed, put a cage in it, and then it started getting a little bit more serious from there.
Yeah, I assume you were doing quarter-mile times on it?
Yeah.
What was your best time?
My best was 11:40 at 116.
Sweet.
So it was.
Yeah, and that was back in, what, the 90s when you were running those?
Yeah, probably
That's
like
fast.
95, 96, which I was pretty fast. I used to pull the driver's side wheel about 6 inches off the ground. That was always fun.
Absolutely. I'm surprised you don't have a wheelie bar on it.
No, yeah. Well, that's why this is a little
gotcha.
broken back there, so yeah.
I did notice that it's missing the engine. Where is it?
Well, that would be in my 91 Foxbody.
Oh, cool.
I had a chance to buy a car, a good price on it. My friend was getting divorced, needed to sell it to get out of a situation. So I pulled the motor and transmission out of here, put it into there, and then the plan was always to build I just wanted to do something crazy in here, and it just never really panned out. And it's been here since 99, 2000.
Yeah, so 25 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So once we do get it out of here and get it all cleaned up, what's your plans for it once we bring it back?
We're trying to decide if we want to keep it period correct and find a nice 302 with the old GT40 tubular intake and kind of do that kind of setup, or if we want to coyote swap it. Or I also, in my garage, I have a 429 Cobra Jet sitting there, so we could also put a 429 in here. And
yeah, so you got options, but it's getting back on the road, more or less.
Yep, my son now, he works for Ford. He's really into cars, and this is going to be the father-son project, and
that's
we'll
awesome.
see how that goes.
I'm a Ford guy now, too. After I got my new truck, I was a GMC guy, but both those blew up. So now I have a Ford. Anyways, as a Ford guy to another Ford guy, thank you so much for the opportunity.
No problem. Thank you.
And now we have a major challenge of figuring out how we're going to get this out of here. Obviously, we've got to put the wheels back on, but we are in a back garage behind a building with a bunch of mud and a bunch of turns and grades and whatnot. So it's going to be a challenge, and I think we are waiting for a tarp because, of course, it's raining as well. So we have to, ironically, we have to keep the car as dirty as possible before we can get it back. Otherwise, you guys don't want to watch the video. But real quick, before we get to the tarp, before we get this thing out of here, we just want to let you guys know that we are traveling around the eastern United States looking for these cars. So please, if you have anything that's really cool like this Mustang is and very, very dirty, email us pictures of what you have here, or you can DM us on Instagram here. Let us know what you have, and please make sure that it is dirty. We can't do clean cars, but we want to see what you have. So email us there, and we might just come out and come and clean your car completely for free.
So at this point, it was time to start taking the car off the jack stands where it's been sitting for the last 25 years, which was a little bit of a process in itself, but we were able to get it done, thank God. And then we put a tarp on it because it was pouring rain outside and we wanted to keep it dirty so we didn't ruin the pressure washing shots for later. All right, so if you saw this underneath a tarp and you didn't know what it was, what would you assume it was?
Oh, I would assume big square, shoot, GT40?
I have no idea.
This would throw me off so hard.
Throw me off incredibly hard, dude.
Shoot, that's a really good question, actually. What do you guys think in the comments? If you saw this under a tarp with this big square wing, what would you think it is?
Maybe a Ferrari?
No. Oh,
F40.
F40?
A very tall F40.
F40 on blocks with the wheels stolen.
Yeah. That's actually what that wing is, an F40 wing.
Oh, really? It's an F40 wing, apparently.
I ordered it. That was it.
Oh, no way.
Wow.
But anyways, doing this in the rain was a huge nightmare. We had Mike inside the car. He couldn't see anything, so RJ was on the phone with 2 different people trying to coordinate getting it up the hill into our trailer, but eventually we did, and we got it back to the shop to take a better look at it.
We made it back with the Mustang safe and sound, and we protected as much dirt as we possibly could have during that rainstorm that we got stuck in. I think we only lost a little bit off the front of the hood here. So we're still left with a thick layer of dust to obviously make the content that we make. I'm very excited because I think that this paint is going to shine up really, really nicely, and we're gonna bring back that deep dark blue. It's probably one of my favorite colors on the car, and I think it fits this car very, very well.
I love the blue on this car as well, and along with the graphics. This car was built with a lot of personality. He used to go street racing with this car and had a lot of fun with it in his time. Sadly, it sat for such a long time and got in this condition, but hopefully after we get this all cleaned up, his son will be able to put a motor in it and do some really cool stuff with it.
What do you think of that antenna though, Mike?
This Bill Nye the Science Guy looking antenna.
It looks like it got hit by lightning.
We should have asked him how he did this or what his inspiration was to do this, because I've never seen anybody modify or personalize their antenna quite like this.
I mean, it still works fine, I presume. But we can ask him once we get this thing all cleaned up. And so first things first, like usual, we're gonna start with the wheels.
We need to get these tires and rims cleaned up. Now, we'll be using our dedicated tire cleaner on our tires to help pull all this blooming and the mud from the tire off. We have to be careful here because these were painted at one point in time. I don't think Krager made these like this from the factory, and it's going to peel some off, but we're going to try not to damage these as much as possible. Fun fact, me and RJ had a 67 Mustang that we did way back on the channel, and it had Krager wheels on it too. This car also has no motor in it, so as you can see, there's a whole bunch of space here for me. So I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to get a brush and get some degreaser and spray this all down and clean off in there as well. So let's get it done.
So for the back of the car, we're going to do this in a weird way just because we want to get the absolute best pressure washing shots. Obviously, in a real life scenario, you're going to start with the top of the wing and work your way down. But since for YouTube videos, we do it methodically, we're going to do the back first, then the trunk lid, and then the wing.
Alright, so when it comes to this 1988 Mustang GT, these came with a 5-liter V8, but as you can clearly see, it is missing. Now, the 5-liter V8 in this car made about 225 horsepower and 300 pound-foot of torque, which obviously wasn't enough for Mike, because that's why this is the NOS pony and he had nitrous on this car. I don't know the other modifications he had, but this car was pretty quick. In the quarter mile, he said his best time, he trapped this at an 11.4 and I think about 116 miles an hour, which if you know anything about anything, back in the 90s, this thing was moving a good bit. Even today, that's actually pretty quick. This is gonna be a father-son project. I think it's super cool. I love that we're doing this to help them out in this way. And I know the 2 motor options that they are looking at for this car. What do you guys think they should put in here? There's only 2 motors that they're looking at. Number 1 is a 429 Cobra Jet motor, and the other one is a 5-liter Coyote motor out of a newer Mustang. So leave it down in the comments below. Let us know, what do you think should be the power plant to this father-son project? Maybe we'll get an update soon on what goes in this car. I'm gonna start degreasing this whole engine bay, so when they get a chance to start working on this and get a new motor in here, it's nice and clean for them. And then after that, we'll get started on the wash process.
Now that the car's washed, we're going to clean up this trim that didn't really change at all just from the wash process. And all we're going to use is a degreaser and a magic eraser. And I mean, magic is in the name, so watch this before and after.
This Mustang GT is a lot of firsts for us on this channel. It is the first car that has an F40 wing attached to it. Weird that it's on a Mustang, but I love it. It's also the first car that has a roll cage on the interior, and Mike unfortunately is sick today, and he usually does Mike's interior talking time. So today it's RJ's interior talking time. Everyone wish Mike well in the comments. Tell him get better soon. He has strep. He really wanted me to attempt to get into this car because I think it was hard for him to get into this car, and Mike's a bit smaller than I am. So my first attempt is gonna look like this. That wasn't too bad. Little Dukes of Hazzard-esque. So the first impression of the interior that I have is that it's obviously kind of cheap. But that makes sense because this car was sold brand new for around $9,500, and I'm pretty sure it had similar performance to higher end competitors like BMW with their M3, where they had obviously nicer interior components, but I believe you were paying $15,000 or $17,000 versus the Mustang GT, where you could buy it for around $9,500 if I'm not mistaken. I will say that there are a couple things that I really like about the interior. One is your little dome light that is actually a flashlight that you can kind of position any which way that you want. So it's one singular little flashlight that you, I don't know if you screw on, there's not even a button for it. Nonetheless, super cool, super cute. Push that right in place. You almost have like a carpet lined headliner, and for whatever reason this thing is covered with a lot of mud. I don't know how so much mud got into this interior, but you know, it's Mike always says, you know, that it's a really nice place to be in the interior. I wouldn't call this interior that, but it definitely fits its purpose, which is going really fast down a drag strip. Oh, Brent just pointed out the car phone. I don't know how I forgot. As if the exterior of this Mustang didn't scream 80s. This definitely does. But there's a ton of parts in the back. I think I actually have the whole entire dash housing, whatever you want to call this. So I'm going to try and actually put this back on so this thing looks a little bit more presentable. And then after that, I'm going to pull these seats out, pull the back seats out, and start the cleaning process. That was the clutch. Dude, this is tough. Shoot, Brent, I need a hand. Come over here. Oh. Stuck the landing at least.
Okay, I just came out here and I noticed, RJ, what are you doing?
Hey, trying to get this hatch open. So obviously we have the custom wing on here. They covered the keyhole, and so I have to take this plastic panel off, unhook the latch so I can get the hatch up, or I have to take the latch off completely so that the hatch will come off.
I don't know, it looks to me like you're just taking a nap on the job.
That's not funny, Brent.
Wouldn't it just have an electronic hatch release, maybe in like the glove box or something?
Can you look?
Actually, that's a good point. Hold on. Let's see. Oh. There's a rat's nest. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it's in here.
Can you help me out?
I think you should click it. I don't have gloves on, so I'm gonna leave that to you.
Alright. I gotta hook the battery up, but I guess it makes my job a bit easier. One of the issues we're having now is I have the positive connected. It ain't got no engine in it, so we don't have, you know, the wires in all the right spots. So I'm really hoping one of these wires goes to the trunk release. Try it. Give it a wiggle. Come on. Give it a wiggle. Oh, shoot. That's not good. That's not good at all. We are back at square one. I might have to climb back in there, Brent. It would be making a noise. What? Did it work? Power probe. So, in order to get the trunk open, I went and grabbed my power probe, the tool that I was trying to remember.
Say it cool.
Power probe. I went and got my power probe, which allows me to put power to one specific unit. So hopefully I can bypass whatever wires aren't connected up front and just get the wires that are connected to the hatch latch. Oh, go get it. Go get it, Brent. Yeah, let's go. I love using this tool so much. Nothing is better than when an idiot like me figures out how to use a tool well enough to do something cool like that. That was sick. And that saved me so much time by taking this whole entire contraption off. Let's go, dude. Power probe.
Now with the trunk hatch open, we can continue cleaning much easier. Now it's time to remove 25 years of mold, dirt, rat droppings, and more off of these plastics, and make it so when the owner drives it again, he doesn't have to feel gross just by touching the inside of his car. And then we're going to clean the seats and the carpets with our extractor using the same process, using an extractor soap and the drill brush to agitate it into the fibers. And then we're going to let that dry overnight before we put everything back together, because it really would not make sense to put everything back in the car while it's still wet. For the paint, we're just going to do a simple one-step polish. That way we can take the oxidation, lift it up, brighten up the paint, and make it look good again. And as I was watching the footage back, for some reason, I saw something peculiar. I guess this is a new, never-before-seen detailing technique by a professional detailer. Oh, of course we didn't forget the most vital part of the entire detail, but unfortunately we don't have the owner's reaction at the end of the video. All three of us got sick toward the end of the week and we were struggling just to get the video done, but we really wanted to put something out for you this week, so hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave it a like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with full energy, fully healthy next week, and we really appreciate you guys watching. We love you, and here's the final result.
Thank you so much for watching this video. We hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos like this, hit subscribe, and hopefully we'll see you next week.